A cheerful morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are fine. So get ready with your grammar book. Open page number 53, chapter number 11, adverb clauses. I am giving you 2 minutes. Get ready with your English grammar book. Before starting today's class, I would like to discuss two words with you. Instead of using very, you should use these two words in your daily life. Okay, so in place of very nervous, instead of saying very nervous, you can use the word apprehensive. You can use the word apprehensive. And instead of very valuable, you can use the word precious. So, I have told you two words today. Very nervous. Instead of saying very nervous, you can use the word apprehensive. And very valuable. Instead of saying very valuable, you can use the word precious. Okay? I hope these two words will be helping you in your daily life, and by this way we will be learning two words daily in our English class. So let's start today's class. Chapter number 11, adverb clauses. Students, up till now you are very much familiar with this word clause, because previously we have done a noun clause, adjective clause, and now we are going to do adverb clause, the clause that performs the function of adverb in a sentence. As you all know, clause is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate, and it can stand on its own. Clause is of two types, dependent clause and independent clause. And we are talking about dependent clause here. Independent clause can stand on its own, but dependent clause depend upon the independent clause for its meaning. And you also know what is an adverb. Adverb is a word that modifies the meaning of verb or adjective or another adverb. So let's start. Adverb clause is a subordinate clause. Subordinate means dependent clause, which contain a subject and a predicate, and it does the work of an adverb. It modifies the meaning of a verb, adjective, or another adverb. Okay, so I hope adverb clause is clear to you, that it is a dependent clause and it has a subject and predicate of its own, and it performs the function of an adverb. Let's see the examples given here. She came yesterday. She came yesterday. Now here in this sentence, came is the verb here and yesterday is the adverb here, which add meaning to the verb came. That she came when? Yesterday. Okay. If we take the second part, she came when it was dark. When it was dark is a clause here, but it is a dependent clause. It is dependent upon she came, right? She came when it was dark. Now when is the subject here? It was dark is the predicate here, right? It was dark when it was dark is the clause here which performs the function of a adverb which answers the question she came when. So here when it was dark is the adverb clause. It answers the question when. See the second example. Stop here. Stop here. Here is the adverb. Stop where the light is red. Now, where the light is red is an adverb clause which answers the question stop where. Stop here. You can ask the question stop where. So here it is adverb of place. Right? Adverb of place. The sum was very difficult. How much the sum was very how much the sum was difficult. Very. Here very is the adverb. The work was so difficult that none did it. That none did it is the clause here. Students, now up till now we have done clauses many times, noun clause, adjective clause, where you studied that clause is introduced by the relative pronoun who, when, where, that. I hope it is clear now that wherever, when, that, where, who is there, from there the clause has been started. The work was so difficult that none did it. That none did it is the adverb clause here, and it answers the question how much difficult. They fought very bravely. They fought very bravely. Here it very is the adverb which gives meaning to the bravely, which gives meaning to the verb, which gives meaning to the adverb bravely. Bravely is also an adverb. Here very is adding meaning to the verb, another adverb, that is very bravely. So it answers the question how much bravely? Very bravely. So here very is the adverb. They fought so bravely that the enemy fled. That the enemy fled is the adverb clause here. Students, see in the first example, when it was dark, it modifies the verb came. In the second example, where the light is red, it modifies the verb stop. In the third example, that none did it, it modifies the adjective difficult. And in the fourth one, very, or you can say that the enemy fled, it adds meaning to the another adverb. So with this, adverb clause definition is clear to you, and adverb definition is also clear to you that adverb is a word, or you can say adverb clause is a group of words which add meaning to the verb, an adjective or another adverb. Right? Now next is the classification of adverb clauses. Students, in the previous classes, you have studied adverb and its type, right? You know adverb of manner, adverb of time, adverb of place, adverb of frequency. You had done this in your previous classes. Now here we are going to do the same, but in a different way. Okay, so listen carefully. This topic is very, very important. If you listen to me carefully, it is the easiest topic. Okay, so please pay attention and listen to me carefully. So classification of adverb clauses is like that: adverb of time, adverb of place, adverb of adverb clause of purpose, adverb clause of reason, adverb clause of condition, adverb clause of result or effect or consequence, adverb clause of comparison, degree, manner or extent, adverb clause of contrast or supposition. So let's take one by one and then it will be more clear to us what is an adverb or adverb clause of time. So first we are going to take adverb clause of time. Adverb clause of time are introduced by subordinate conjunctions. As I told you, the clauses are introduced by the conjunctions. Okay, like as I told you, relative pronouns, sometimes relative pronouns or sometimes conjunctions like when, as soon as, while, before, until, after, since, whenever, so long as, the moment, till, just as, etc. All these words are for adverb clause of time. All these are for adverb clause of time. See, I reached the station after the train had left. I reached the station when. When it answers the question when, that is the adverb clause of time. Same as you did in adverb of time. It answers the question when. When the action has been done, right? And how the action has been done, where the action has been done, where you are giving a word to modify the meaning of verb, right? We are providing an adverb to modify the meaning of verb. So here it is telling you about when the action has been done. It is the adverb clause of time. Okay, so I reached the station after the train had left. Do not step out of the train or bus until it stops. When you are old, nobody will serve you. As soon as I heard the news of the accident, I rushed to the spot. So in all these examples, the words used as when, as soon as, while, before, until, they indicate the adverb clause of time. So you need to remember these words: when, as soon as, while, before, until, after, since, whenever, so long as, the moment, till, just as, etc. So next is adverb clause of place. Adverb clause of place. Adverb clause of place are introduced by conjunctions where, whence, whither, wherever, etc. So adverb clause of place, it answers the question where the action has been done. Okay, I have put the bubble gum where no one can find it. He makes friends wherever he goes. Where there is a will, there is a way. People welcome the president wherever he went. So, adverb clause of place, it is generally answering the question where the action has been done. So, words like where, whence, whither, wherever indicate the adverb clause of place. Next is adverb clause of purpose. Purpose, what is the purpose behind the action? Like the words we use for the adverb clause of purpose are that, lest, so that, in order, that, etc. Now here, as I told you, it indicate the purpose behind the action. See, we take exercise. Why we take exercise? It answers the question why, purpose. Why? So that we may become strong. Work hard lest you should fail. We eat that we may live. So here, so that, lest, that, these are the words which we use to start up for adverb clause of purpose, right? Next is adverb clause of reason. Adverb clause of reason. Now, reason behind the action. First, purpose was what is the purpose, motto of the action. Second, now here we are going to discuss the reason behind, right? And the words used are reason. For reasoning, we use as, because, since, that, that, who, which, etc. Okay, and that, who, and which it relates to, there it is equal to because when we give the reason behind the task. Now see, as he was feeling ill, he went home. I am glad that you have come. Now that is here equal to because. So I am glad because you have come. Here the sentence is giving you the reason behind the action. Why I am glad? Because you have come, or that you have come. Since you are my friend, I shall help you. Now I will help you because you are my friend. So here these all these sentences stating the reason behind the action, right? Stating the reason behind the action. Next is adverb clause of condition. Adverb clause of condition. Condition, you can say here we use words if, whether, unless, in case, as if, provided, or provided that, so long as. Condition, that the work we are doing for a condition, like if it rains we shall stay at home. We shall stay at home if it rains. We are providing the condition for the given action, that we are going to stay at home if it rains. I shall sing provided that you also join me. We are expressing the condition for doing some action. Okay, I will do this work if you give your support to me. I will do this work for you if you help me in this in my project work or in any other task. So here it indicates the condition provided for the given task. As the principal was not there, I spoke to the clerk. The purpose of talking to clerk was that there was principal was not there. Okay, so I hope all these five types of adverb clauses are clear to you. Adverb we discussed: adverb clause of time, adverb clause of place, adverb clause of purpose, adverb clause of reason, adverb clause of condition. Now time indicates when the action has been done. Place tells you where the action has been done. Purpose, what is the motto behind the action. Reason, why the action has been done. And condition is the condition for the given task, that the task will be performed provided that the condition should be fulfilled, right? So I hope all these five types of clauses are clear to you. Coming to the next type, sixth type, that is adverb clause of result, effect, or consequence. Whatever action we'll do will get a result. That is the adverb clause of result. See, the word used for adverb clause of result are that, which is often preceded by so or such in the principal clause. He is so poor that he cannot study further. Why he cannot study further? Because he is so poor. That is the result of the condition of verb subject, that he is so poor, as a result he cannot study further. This is the adverb clause of result, or you can say consequence. So hot was it that many died. Many died because of hot weather, right? So it is the result or adverb clause of result. Our new teacher speaks in such a low voice, and because of that, very few of us can follow him. So, adverb clause of effect, result, or consequence. I hope it is clear to you, which indicates the result of the given status of the subject, right? Next is adverb clause of comparison. Comparison, as you all know, when we compare two things, right? Now adverb clause of comparison are of two types: adverb clause of comparison of degree and adverb clause of comparison of manner, right? Comparison of degree is quite clear that here the comparison has been done by using relative adverbs like as much as, no less than. Let's see the example. She is taller than her brother. She is taller than her brother. He is not so stupid as you think. Here you can see in these two examples clearly the comparison has been done. So this is adverb clause of comparison of degree where two persons are compared.